The Young and the Restless spoilers. Full the 15th of July, 2026. Wednesday. Welcome back to our channel. It's a wild Wednesday, and we absolutely need to unpack the absolute insanity that just went down in Genoa City. Grab your coffee or your wine because the drama is overflowing today, and I have so many thoughts I can barely type fast enough. I cannot believe what I just watched. I mean, I have been watching this show for years, since like 2015, and I have seen some truly unhinged behavior from these characters. But today's episode just took the cake. My jaw is still on the floor. I am literally typing this up late at night after rewatching the episode because I need to get this out of my system before I explode. Am I the only one who feels like the writers are just playing with our blood pressure at this point? Let's just jump right into the deep end with Adam Newman and Chelsea Lawson. So they are sitting at this cute outdoor cafe, having what looks like a totally normal, healthy, co-parenting conversation about summer plans in Connor's baseball league. And for a second, I was actually smiling. I love seeing them get along. But of course, Chelsea brings up her very valid fear that she is going to be dragging a cooler and lawn chairs to all these baseball games completely by herself, because Adam is inevitably going to get sucked in to some toxic Newman family vortex, because that is what Adam does. He promises he won't. He swears he's going to be present, but we all know the track record. But Adam actually reassures her. He looks her in the eye and promises that he is not going to abandon her and Connor for his father's drama. And then he immediately drops the absolute mother of all bombs. He casually reveals Victor's latest diabolical plan to snatch Newman Media back from Spectra Charles. I literally screamed at my screen. Are you kidding me? Victor. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me break down what Adam actually said. So Adam tells Chelsea that he tried to be the voice of reason. He actually pitched a completely logical, brilliant idea to Victor. Why don't we just build a new media empire from scratch? Adam and Chelsea could build it from the ground up. No hostile takeovers, no ruining people's lives, just good old-fashioned business. But no, Victor completely rejected it, because Victor Newman doesn't just want a successful company. He wants dominance, and more importantly, he wants to crush his enemies. And this is the part that makes my blood boil. Adam actually tried to plead with his father. He told Victor to back off Sally and her company, especially considering that she is pregnant. I mean, attacking a pregnant woman's livelihood? That is a new low, even for the Mustang. But Victor doesn't care. He is completely ruthless. Chelsea, being the absolute queen of reading between the lines, immediately figures out the real motive. She looks at Adam and just knows this isn't about Newman Media. This isn't even about Sally. This is about Billy Abbott. I swear, Victor's obsession with destroying Billy is bordering on clinical at this point. Chelsea hits the nail on the head. The best, most painful way to retaliate against Billy is to destroy Sally, because Victor knows Billy is tied to her, and hurting Sally is the ultimate collateral damage to get to Billy. So Chelsea, bless her heart, decides she is not going to just sit back and watch this happen. She declares that they need to stop Victor. She wants to find a way to derail this evil plan, and Adam actually agrees. He says the best way to do it is to unite and act as a team. They start brainstorming a specific business plan right there at the cafe. It was giving me old school Chatham scheming vibes, and I am totally here for it. But part of me is also terrified, because going up against Victor Newman never ends well. And then because this is Genoa City and nobody knows how to have a private conversation in a public place, guess who comes strolling by? Sally Spectra. Of course she does. And of course, she only overhears the absolute worst possible part of the conversation. She hears the words, taking back Newman Enterprises, and immediately assumes the worst. She thinks Adam and Chelsea are plotting to scam her out of her company. I don't even blame Sally for reacting. I mean, look at her history. She has fought tooth and nail for everything she has. She built Spectre Charles from the ground up. She has been manipulated, fired, and tossed aside by the Newmans more times than I can count. So when she hears her ex-boyfriend and his baby mama whispering about taking her company, her defensive walls shoot up to the stratosphere. Adam and Chelsea immediately go into panic mode and confess everything. They tell her the truth. It's Victor who wants to take back Newman Media, and they are actually trying to stop him. But Sally is not buying what they are selling. She looks at them and drops a piece of information that absolutely floors them. She says this whole thing is about Billy, and specifically the massive job offer Billy just got from Kane Ashby to run Chancellor. The look on Chatham's faces, they were completely stunned. They had absolutely no idea about Kane Ashby's offer. And can we just pause for a second and talk about Kane Ashby making moves like this? I love that he is stirring the pot from behind the scenes. But back to the confrontation. Chelsea and Adam are practically begging Sally to believe them. They promise her that they are going to do everything in their power to stop Victor. And this is where Sally delivers the absolute best line of the episode. She looks Adam dead in the eye, thanks him for his good intentions, but flat out tells him that she doubts he will ever have the spine to actually stand up to his father. She reminds him that he never dared to cross Victor when they were living together. Ouch. Someone get Adam some ice for that burn. Sally even adds a little extra salt to the wound by looking at Chelsea and saying that if Adam has changed at all, it's entirely thanks to Chelsea. I felt that in my soul. Sally is not playing games anymore. She turns on her heel and walks away like a boss. But the second she turns the corner, the facade drops. She immediately pulls out her phone and sends a frantic 911 emergency text to Audra Charles, saying they need to talk right now. I am so incredibly invested in this Sally and Audra alliance. They are two of the smartest, most ruthless women in town when they are pushed into a corner, and Victor Newman has no idea what kind of hornet's nest he is kicking. They are going to scheme, they are going to fight back, and I cannot wait to watch them go to war. Let me catch my breath, because that was just the first half of the episode. We have to talk about the Abbott Mansion, because things are getting just as crazy over there. So we cut to the Abbott living room, and Kyle and Diane are sitting there. Diane is finally back home, safe and sound, and they are both just so relieved that she survived that horrific hostage situation. But the trauma is still so fresh. Diane is sitting there, visibly shaking, obsessing over Patty Williams and wondering how her bail hearing is going. And in walks Michael Baldwin, our favorite legal eagle, with all the hot tea from the courthouse. He tells them that there is no bail for Patty because she completely dug her own grave. And how did this happen? Because Christine Romanotti is a literal genius. Michael explains that Christine didn't even have to push hard. She just played the situation perfectly. She let Patty talk and talk and talk until Patty completely unraveled and had a massive screaming meltdown right there in front of the judge. I was cheering at my screen. Patty Williams has been a menace to society for decades. Remember when she poisoned Summer? Remember all the psychotic things she has done to Jack. Seeing her dragged out of that courtroom, kicking and screaming, was pure cinematic justice. Michael tells Kyle and Diane that Patty is locked up, no bail, and it's all over. But is it? Because Kyle suddenly gets a text message, looks at his phone, and immediately bolts out of the house. And we know exactly what this is. The spoilers have been teasing this for days. Kyle Abbott and Victor Newman are clashing. Kyle actually thinks he can go toe-to-toe with the mustache. I'm sorry, but Kyle is completely out of his depth here. Victor's going to eat him alive and spit out the bone. Kyle is so arrogant sometimes. He thinks because he's an Abbott, he has this invisible shield. But Victor does not play by the rules. This clash is going to be explosive, and I am terrified for Kyle, even if he annoys me. Anyway, Kyle leaving gives Diane and Michael a chance to have a really deep, emotional conversation. Diane confesses something that actually made me tear up a little bit. She tells Michael that despite everything, despite Patty holding her hostage, despite the trauma, her biggest realization during her forced therapy was about Jack. She realized that she loves and misses Jack Abbott way more than she hates him for betraying her with Patty on that yacht. I know a lot of fans absolutely despise Diane, and I get it. Her history is terrible. She faked her own death. She manipulated everyone. But in this moment, I actually felt for her. She was stripped down to her core, terrified for her life, and all she wanted was her husband. It's a huge turning point for her character. She is choosing love over bitterness, and I am genuinely rooting for her and Jack to find their way back to each other. But of course, this is a soap opera, so the happiness lasts for exactly 2 seconds. Diane asks Michael about Dr. Lawrence Markham, the corrupt, psychotic psychiatrist who was keeping her locked in a barred room and gaslighting her into thinking she had a mental breakdown. Yeah, that guy. Michael casually reveals that Dr. Markham is still missing. The authorities have not arrested him. He is just out there roaming free. And Michael, for some inexplicable reason, is completely unbothered by it. He actually tells Diane not to worry about it. I cannot handle how naive Michael Baldwin is being right now. Are you kidding me, Michael? Markham is a dangerous, corrupt predator who kidnaps women for money. How are you not worried? Diane's reaction is exactly how I feel. She is absolutely terrified, and she should be, because we know from the timeline of events that Markham is not just going to disappear into the sunset. He is a ticking time bomb. The fact that he is still out there means that nobody in Genoa City is safe, especially the Abbotts. Diane's fear is so palpable, and it just proves that this nightmare is far from over. This episode was an absolute masterpiece of tension. From Victor's sick vendetta against Billy and Sally, to Adam and Chelsea trying to play the heroes, to Sally's brilliant alliance with Audra, to Patty's courtroom breakdown, and the looming, terrifying threat of Dr. Markham. I am exhausted in the best way possible. I need to know what you guys think. Am I the only one who thinks Michael is being an idiot about Markham? Do you think Adam will actually stand up to Victor this time, or will he cave like Sally predicted? And what on earth is going to happen when Kyle confronts Victor? Drop your thoughts, because I am going to be obsessing over this until the next episode.